Our pilot told us that's where we're going. So he starts to land the plane, and we're going lower and lower and lower and lower, and eventually we land right on the beach. Our plane comes down and lands right on the beach. So we get out of the plane and we start walking around. A few years ago, my mom and I took a trip to Alaska. At one point, we learned about a trip that you could take to Kenai Fjords National Park. A national park is an area of land that is protected, that you're not allowed to build houses on, or factories, or businesses, or even roads in a lot of cases. To get to the national park, there were no roads. You cannot drive, you have to fly. So we found a company that took us on a very small airplane. 6 people went on this airplane. Before we could fly, we had to weigh ourselves to make sure that the airplane had enough fuel to get us all the way to where we were going and all the way back. The airplane did not have jet engine. It did not have fire coming from big turbines. It had a little propeller, a little wheel that spun, that powered the whole plane. So we got in the plane from where we were and we started flying. At some point, we realized what our pilot was doing. He was looking for bears. We were flying over beaches, looking down from our airplane, and we were looking for grizzly bears. At one point, we saw a lot of grizzly bears on the beach, and just next to the beach in a marsh, a very grassy area, a high grassy area. And we start walking around. And our guide is very professional. He knows what he's doing. He's done this a million times, and he takes us toward the bears. Because we were in an area with a lot of food, bears could eat clams, which are shellfish from the ocean, and they could eat that grass from the marsh, that high grass, that high, tall, wet grass. Because they weren't hungry, they also weren't angry. So we could walk toward the bears very slowly, and the bears basically would just ignore us and keep eating. We learned a lot of things about the bears while we were watching them, but we were able to get so close. And the bears look so cute. They look like pets. They look like teddy bears. You really just want to walk up to them and give them a big hug. But while we were there, we really learned how dangerous bears are. They run extremely fast, they're extremely strong, and if they're mad, and if they're hungry, and if you're near their cub, they are not an animal that you want to mess with. It was an amazing experience to get so close to wild bears. These are not bears that were trained. These are not bears that are in a zoo. It was just wild bears that we found by looking out of an airplane and landing on a beach. I found this to be one of the most special experiences of my life because I was so close to nature in the wild. I was so close to these bears and their wilderness, their habitat, that it was a really special experience. So, do you want to go to Alaska? Do you want to see bears? I personally could not recommend it anymore. It was amazing. Alaska is one of the greatest places to go and visit if you like the outdoors, if you like animals, and if you like the wilderness. Hopefully this story inspires you a little bit, and hopefully you learned a few new words. Thank you so much. Please leave comments about anything that you would like to hear more about, and hopefully see you soon.